Hello and welcome back to Gapeys Grow Room. It's time for another update. Let's start with the shelves on the left and take a look at the bottom shelf, which is the Germination Shelf. This is where I start all my seeds. I've got them under this pillowcase here and the humidity dome. We also have a heat mat here on the bottom, and that is set to 75 degrees. And I'll show you what we have in here. I've got some marigolds. I think there's 3 different varieties, and I started those last night. We've also got some nasturtiums back there. I think there's 3 different varieties of those. And we're starting some more peppers. These are the guajillo peppers. I've been having a really tough time germinating these. I just bought some guajillos from a local Mexican store, so I saved seeds from those, and we'll see if we can get those to germinate. And then here we have some spinach, and actually just started those today. And then we have some more guajillos, and these, so I'm doing both the paper towel method as well as directly in seed starting mix. And then we've got all of our cherry tomatoes here that I've started. None of those have come up yet. I just started those a couple days ago. And I started some more pepper seeds. These are some sweet peppers, Violet Sparkle and Aconcagua. And more tomatoes back there. And then we've also got some more guajillos. So these are from the first set of peppers that I started, and those are probably not going to germinate. And then we've also got some more lemon spice jalapenos back here. And I think that's all we have here in the Germination Shelf. On the next shelf up, we have some flowers. We have our white pin cushions here. We've got 3 trays of those. And then we have some mellow yellow cone flowers. We've got a tray here and then another one back there. And then we have our calendulas. So I'm growing 3 different varieties of calendulas. We have Strawberry Blonde, Bronze Beauty, and Resina back there. So Resina is the one that you want to grow if you're growing it for medicinal purposes, because that one has the most medicinal properties in it. These other ones do have some medicinal qualities, but they're not as strong as the Resina. And then on this next tray here, we've got our chocolate lace flower. These have really pretty leaves, so I'm looking forward to seeing the flowers on those. And then we have some of our nasturtiums that I just started have germinated, so I have moved those up onto the shelf under the lights. We've got Orchid Cream and Ladybird Rose. So Orchid Cream is one that I grew last year, and these are from seeds that I saved. And then we also have foxgloves. These are growing super slow. They're really tiny seedlings. It's the Obscura Sunset variety from Floret, but we've got probably a dozen or so little seedlings there, so they're probably going to stay in here for a little while before I repot those into a bigger container. And this next shelf is my favorite shelf. This is the only shelf that I have a heat mat on. So these are all the heat-loving peppers, and we've got some tomatoes and tomatillos over here. So these shorter ones are all the annuum peppers that I started just about a little less than a month ago. And then behind those are all the chinense and baccatum varieties. You can tell the baccatum varieties because they're much taller. The ones here on the left are a lot shorter, so those are the chinense varieties. And these guys have been in here for almost 2 months, so those are ready to get potted up to larger containers. I'm going to be potting them up into 3.5-inch tall containers, and once I do that, I'm going to be moving those over to the grow tent under LEDs. And then we've got some more peppers over here, the annuums. We've also got tomatillos. These are just the regular green variety, but we've got, I think, 7 or 8 of those guys, and those are probably ready to get potted up into some larger containers. And then these smaller peppers here are the extras that I had from the ones that I started in the Pepper in a Can challenge. So we've got one of them here has, let's get a closer look. So it's actually, this is just one leaf. It's kind of split in half a little bit, but there's no other leaves coming out of there, so I don't think this one is going to make it. These other ones are already starting to get their primary leaves here. So I don't think this one is going to make it. But that's the calico, no, that's the Zamora. So the Zamora has purple leaves and the calico also has purple leaves. And then these are our tomatoes that have germinated. So I started the larger tomatoes before the cherry tomatoes. So these are all the larger tomatoes. I had 2 of them that didn't germinate. I put this little humidity dome over the ones that didn't germinate in hopes that they'll still come up, but I don't think they will. So we had the great blue white. I only had 2 seeds of those, so I was hoping to at least get one, but I may not get one at all. And then this other one is the ananas noir, and I have more seeds of that one, so I could try some more, see if I can get some to germinate, but it doesn't look like those are gonna come up either. Then we also have some eggplant here. This is a Chinese string variety that I got from Baker Creek that looked like a lot of fun. And then we have our pepper in a can peppers there in the back, all doing really well. And then here on the top shelf we have some more flowers. I've got the dahlias here on the left that I started from seed. I ended up with 5, 6, 7 of those out of, I think I had 8, 9, I think I had 10 seeds. And then we have 3 different varieties of straw flower. We have an apricot mixed, a dragon fire, and then this one was just a mix that I got from a seed swap. And then here are our blue pea flowers. They're actually looking a little bit better. The leaves aren't as yellow as they were for a while. And the bottom leaves are still kind of curled, but the new growth looks a little bit better. So hopefully those will do well. And then I only got my 1 blue glitter sea holly there, and it's doing pretty good. I didn't have any others germinate, so we just have that one there. And then we've got red calabrocha that I started from seeds that I got from my mom. And we have rudbeckia. I've got a few trays of that one. And we have 3 varieties of, actually I have 6 varieties of zinnias that I'm growing this year. We've got mazurkia, which is one I haven't grown before, Little Flower Girl, and Aztec Sunset. So all 3 of those I haven't grown before. And then the 3 in the back are from the Queen Lime series. We've got Queen Lime Red, Orange, and Blush, which I grew last year, and I really, really like those, so I wanted to grow those again. I got out some LED panels for the shelf on the right. These are, I'm not sure what the brand is, I can put a link to them on the description of this video, but they're just a white panel, and I've got them about a foot above the seedlings here, and they seem to be doing pretty good. I did have to lower them quite a bit because they were a little bit higher, and the plants were starting to get a little bit leggy, so I decided to lower them, and I think this is a pretty good height for these. Here on the left we have our celery, which is doing really great. They're in some small 6-cell trays, and they're drying out super fast. I have to water them usually once or twice a day, and they start getting droopy pretty fast. So I really need to get these potted into bigger containers so they don't dry out so fast. And then here we've got our parsley, and that is about ready to get potted up into individual cells as well. And we have our leeks and onions, and these are about ready to start getting hardened off. Actually, all this stuff on this shelf is pretty cold hardy, so I can start working on hardening this stuff off. So for the next video that you see, these are likely not going to be in the grow room anymore. And then we also have our German thyme, and this is also a cold hardy variety of thyme. I've been trimming that down because it was starting to get pretty leggy under the LED lights as well. And we have all of our brassicas on the right, several varieties of kale, kaleidoscope, scarlet, and red Russian, lacinato, and I think we have one more, blue curled scotch. And then this back row is a row of summer purple broccoli. And this is a really good broccoli. It's pretty bolt resistant, but it doesn't get a big broccoli head that you might be familiar with. It's more of a broccolini, kind of a sprouting broccoli, so it does really well. Here is our last shelf, and we have our sweet basil here, purple basil, and also some Thai basil. in this shelf, and they're all doing really good. These are pretty heat-loving plants, but I don't have a heat mat on them, but they still seem to be doing pretty good. The temperature in this room is usually around 65 degrees, so they might grow a little bit faster if they were in a warmer room, but they are doing just fine. And then here on the right, we have all of our lettuces. We have Butter Crunch lettuce here in the first row, and these are the ones that have been under the fluorescent lights the whole time. And these ones on the left are the exact same lettuce, started at the exact same time, but these were under the LEDs for a while and they got really leggy. So I moved these back under the fluorescents in hopes that they'll start doing better, but they look a lot worse than these ones that were under fluorescents the whole time. And then the ones in the back here, we have red leaf lettuce. Let's pull this out a little bit. So this is a red leaf lettuce variety, and then we've also got 2 of these freckled romaines. These are one of my favorite lettuces, and these are from seeds that I saved, but the seeds were really old, so I only got 2 of those to germinate, but I need to get some more seeds of those because I really like that variety. And the bottom shelf again is just our storage. We have this is the fertilizer I've been using, Dr. Earth All-Purpose, and I got that from Costco. We have all of our containers down here as well, humidity domes and trays. And that is all we have for the Grow Room update today. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.